And our first question will go to Trevor.
Hey, DeAndre, thank you for doing this. Just wanted to get your thoughts about this transition for you, how it went and kind of how you decided to come here, that whole process, and then what have things been like for you just to this point in the preseason?
Yeah, so obviously after my last year was my redshirt junior year, and so kind of the same thing as the year before. I've been here for 4 years, kind of only played in 8 games in 2 years. So obviously, I was frustrated, and kind of going into my last year. I knew obviously I started my career off good, but the past 2 weren't really living up to my expectations or anybody's. And so I kind of realized I needed to change the scenery. I needed to kind of hire a higher challenge more so in competition. Obviously, being surrounded by NFL coaches, who know what to do not only on the field but off the field, and at the highest level for the longest period of time. So, kind of when you really break it down, it kind of all really made sense. Obviously, thankfully, I had the opportunity. My dad being here and making that transition easier. But and then, like I said, since I got here, I knew everybody kind of since high school, either whether playing with them or against them. So, even in college, I was kind of always still friends with them. We always knew each other like that. So, really coming here was kind of a smooth transition. You just got to get acclimated to, how they do things here. A lot of things is different from here than Boise, but, you kind of just got to learn, you got to adjust, and you just got to attack it.
Jacob.
Hey, DeAndre, is there an extra meaning for you to be at Arizona State now that you will have a year to play under your dad, like you had mentioned? Does that mean something to you a little bit extra?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. It's kind of funny, how you see things kind of come like full circle. In high school, I really credit him, helping me get to college. Obviously when he came, the coach at Long Beach, probably my junior year, my senior year, he really put me really put everybody at Long Beach even more spotlight, already from who he is and the high school history itself. So now I kind of see it the same thing. Now I'm just a little bit older now. Now it's for the next level. First time it was for college, and it's for the pros and even life after that. So obviously now really I feel like like I said, same with the decision to transfer. I just feel like here the people here would just be the best for me and keep me on the best path to what I wanted to accomplish, on and off the field.
Trevor.
DeAndre, we saw in the practice report last week that you were splitting reps with Ashari at first team safety, and your dad indicated yesterday that you would be in contention for that starter spot. Just what's your sense right now where you're at on the depth chart and how competition's going?
First off, I think something that should be noticed that we have extremely high quality depth at all positions, whether it's at safety, corner, nickelback. I feel like we got easily 8 guys that can easily rotate and start, like no drop off, no slack, nothing. Everybody can step in. And at the safety spot with me, Evan and Ashari, and even Keywan Markham, obviously he was a freshman when I was a senior, probably. But all 4 of us really, I would just say, we all offer something unique. Evan obviously has that freakish size and speed. Shari is a ball hawk. Same with Keywan, he's a ball hawk. Me bringing in my mental side of the game. So we all kind of just bring our little piece to the puzzle. Hopefully it all fits up right, and then we go out there and just play ball.
Jacob.
DeAndre, you're the only guy on this defense right now who's had the opportunity to practice against the offense that Zach Hill runs in the past. And I've asked a number of players who are new to practicing against that, how difficult it's been for them. But I'm curious from you, what has it been like to practice against Zach Hill's offense, and kind of what does it bring to the table, and kind of what's the challenge of being a defender and practice against it?
First I'll say, it's a blessing. Even when he was doing it last year at Boise, obviously when he was always ran that system, but last year I think he really finalized it, really made it to what it is now. All my teammates and stuff see. But I think the thing about it, is that they kind of just take out all the kind of one-on-one. They kind of take out all the athletic ability and kind of make it purely about discipline, making sure your eyes are in the right spot, making sure you're doing your job, because, every 10 people could be doing that job, but in that offense with that scheme, one person makes a bust, it could easily be a touchdown. And, I've seen it plenty of times in my own eyes, in practice last year, in games last year, even now in practice, obviously everybody else is kind of still getting adjusted to, sometimes I could tell what they're doing just by how they line up and stuff, just by going against them. But, it's been good, obviously what this teaches us, obviously to stay disciplined. So, we do play teams that don't do as much shifts or motions. We'll be out there.
Jeff.
I'm sure everyone thinks that, your dad being the co-defensive coordinator, that he'll do a fair job, and not favor his son. But do you do anything from your end to make sure that people know that, it's an equal playing field?
Honestly, everybody knows that, even me and him included. Like I say, he was my coach for my junior and senior high school. I mean, two people that I'm the closest to, obviously big players here, Kobe Williams and Jack Jones. We're all in the same class. We were all in the starting DBs our senior year. And I mean, they all saw firsthand, how my dad is, how he is with everybody else, with his position group, anybody else on the team, with me. Obviously it's all the same. We out here at the end of the day, he's a coach, I'm a player. I'm trying to get better. He's trying to get me better. And so, obviously out the field, we cool, obviously, father and son, but obviously I'm here to accomplish something, and, obviously he has goals of his as well.
Trevor.
DeAndre, you mentioned some of the guys at Poly, Jack. How much have they kind of helped you with this transition, and then also just the familiarity of playing in this scheme under your dad at Poly?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like Jack was probably one of the first people to hit me kind of when I first when I first kind of told my dad about it. And I even told Jack about it, like I said, we went to high school, we was close like that. And so kind of when I told him, he was just like, he was so excited. He's like, don't be messing with me, you better be coming. And then, once I told him it was official, they really took me under their wings, initially. Like I said, it was my first time being there. It's a whole different culture, a whole different environment coming from here compared to a place like Boise. So really all the familiarity, all my former teammates and, other teammates that I knew, they really just kind of helped me, just kind of get me on the straight path, teach them, the right way to do it, how they do it. And then, honestly, like I said, it only took about a week or two. And then, I was kind of held to that same accountability as they were.
Jacob.
You mentioned a few minutes ago how there have been a couple instances so far in practices where you saw one of your teammates line up in a spot where you knew they were going to get burned because of the Zach Hill offense. Is there a specific time that comes to mind where you saw something and you said something to somebody where you were like, this is what you need to do better, or this is how you can beat this when you're practicing against Hill?
It's not even, it is about alignment, but I mean, it's also like I said, there's so much going on in such a tight space that your eyes have to really be on point. So, I mean, you could be in the perfect position right before, but then the moment that ball snaps, like if you're looking at something that you're not supposed to, that's the second where, obviously you get messed up. So, really all the offense really tries to do, I would say try to create pressure or create tempo, confuse us, put the pressure on us, be locked into our assignments. And, for us, all we got to do really is just, be communication and anticipation. That's really all it is, be ahead of what they do, don't be caught off guard by a shift or motion, anticipate it, make the checks that you need to. And, everybody just has to be on the same page at the end of the day.
Jeff.
Boise State's had a lot of success, a lot of postseason success. Do you see Arizona State headed in the same direction?
Oh,
based on what you see here talent-wise?
Well, for one, I've never seen, freshmen come in so ready to play for college. Like I said, you guys already been talking about them, like the receivers, Johnny, LV. Even on the defensive side, like with Mason, Ed Woods, T. Lee, all the linebackers, Will Schaefer and Caleb and those players. So really, I would just say the difference is, just pure talent alone. The sky's the limit for us. Now, we know we have the physical attributes. Now it's just time to lock in on the mental side and just make sure, like I said, we're all on the same page. Everybody's communicating, and then, we're all just playing technical, physical football.
Jacob.
What are your goals for this season as far as what you believe you're capable of? And then just kind of when you came to ASU, did you have any aspirations in mind that you really are holding yourself to?
Well, for one, I think for everybody, I think I know everybody in our starting DB group, and even everybody rotating, I feel like we all feel like we could be, not only the best DB group in the secondary, but even individually, we always challenge ourselves. Chase and Jack always pushing each other. Me, Shari, Evan, Kiwan always pushing each other. TD and Ed, Jordan and T. Lee. Everybody's always pushing one another, and I feel like that's what makes us, so unique and so so high powered, and how great we could really be. And so I feel like as long as we keep the intensity and pressure up in practice, I feel like we always be on our 10 toes, and we'll always be there to make the play.
Last question, Trevor.
DeAndre, you're familiar with the 4-3, just playing with your dad at Long Beach Poly, and then obviously the NFL component, and it's being more common there. With these guys and the personnel that's currently here, having played in the 3-3-5 for the last 2 seasons, how do you think the scheme change just fits the personnel that you guys have now that you've been here?
Well, football is all about, personnel changes. Obviously if they come out in 4 tight ends, you can't have 5 DBs on the field. If they come out, they come out in the base formation, you can come out in the base defense. If they come in like, more speed package, then we put our nickel and our dime groups out there, so really it's all about, finding the personnel, matching up, so everybody's just in the best possible situation to win their one-on-one. And like I said, obviously our coaches are, from the league, so, things is kind of ran that way. And, obviously we're held to that kind of same accountability. Everybody has to do what they're supposed to do, and everybody has to take ownership of their responsibility.